Hi and welcome to the 4th annual edition of SCAD Film Festival here in Lacoste, celebrating 25 years of its presence here in the village, celebrating all that is great and good about the film industry, from production to design, everything you could possibly imagine. That's Savannah College of Art and Design in Lacoste, France. Let's go and take a further tour.
SCAD arrived here almost 25 years ago in 2001. And the first classes started in 2002. And so we started with 30 buildings, and now we almost have 70 buildings, and we can have up to 200 students. Right now we have 162 this summer, which is the highest number we ever had. And so it's growing. So students, it's an option for them to come here. When they go to SCAD, they can decide whether they want to come or not, but it's open to all students. We cannot have all the majors at the same time here. So we rotate the majors every quarter, so that there is always a moment while you are at SCAD where you can find a class that you need to take that is going to be offered in Avignon. Right now we have mostly classes around film, of course, because that is the film fest, theoretic writing, film, but also production, acting. That's most of the majors we have right now, but we also have painting at the moment. But in the fall we're going to have architecture, fashion, so it's always rotating. We try to make sure we offer the classes when students can take advantage to what happens in France. Students have classes from Monday to Thursday, and on Fridays they go on excursions. So, and everything that Provence can offer, you can find it within 1 hour 30 from here. So on a day trip they can go to Nice, to Arles, to Avignon, Aix, Marseille. So it's really easy for them to explore the region. A little bit about the village of Lacoste, which was a fortified village during medieval times. So you can see one of the main gates. That was actually the village, mostly from the 14th to the 18th century, but it may be built on a wall that was pre-existing from the 12th or the 13th, because stones were so expensive that whenever a building was no longer used, they were using it to build something different. It's a good way to see also what SCAD does. Every time we find something historic, we keep it and we bring it back to life with a new activity. We are a university, and so we have classrooms and we have students. But what has changed for the last, I would say, 7-8 years is that we had more and more visitors coming to the village because it's pretty, mostly because we restored it. But they are curious to know what was happening. So starting maybe, I would say, 10 years ago, we decided to own the touristic aspect of our presence here and to become an artistic destination, in addition to our role as a university for students. Which means that we open museums, galleries, shops, we host events, such as the one we are doing this weekend, and we have this program, the Alumni program, where alumni come year-round to do residencies. And so they come here, they create, they work, and they sell their work. So it's a way to support our alumni and to help them in their career. And all of that together makes us be the first artistic destination of the world.
The main technique that I use in my work is tufting. I used to do it by hand, but getting this machine has allowed me to work at a much larger scale and a lot faster. So I'm actually working from the back side of the work, so feel free to take a look from both sides. On this frame, I have a combination of some of the smaller products that I create. I call them love rugs. So they can be a little coaster or your cup, or they also can be little miniature pieces of art. But I'm also doing some organic shapes that I'm gonna eventually turn into larger artworks.
Everything started here. The door on the name, Bernard Pfriem, is the name of the person who created the Lacoste School of the Arts in 1971. He was a painter and professor from the US who came to France during the Second World War. And he fell in love with the village because many surrealists were coming here. Because of the influence and the ghost of the Marquis de Sade. There was always this interest for art in the region. He arrived here, he fell in love with the village, but back then it was completely abandoned because in the 70s, no one cared about cute little villages in Provence. People wanted a brand new house with a fridge, with all the amenities in the valley. Something more modern. So these villages were left behind, and you're right here, and you purchase this house. It was this house, it was this studio. We purchased that for $80. But it's not in bad shape. So he had this idea to ask students to come for the summer and to help him restore the house. And in exchange, he would invite artists to give classes here on this terrace. And this is how he created the Lacoste School of the Arts. He got popular, so he continued. He purchased more buildings for nothing. And he continued up to the 90s, where he got sick. It was the end of his life. And he wanted this idea of school in Lacoste to continue. So many institutions were contacted, and SCAD was one of them. And so President Pfriem visited the school, and she also fell in love with the village and decided to have a campus here. But of course, it took a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of funds, because to bring it from an artist community, that was this previous school, to what SCAD is doing.